I got a drink combo. Mixing some strong 68 absinthe with a splash of Mountain Dew. Ooh. There's about that much absinthe in there, and then like a little bit of sugary goodness on top. That's what's up. So, Kanye West wore a t-shirt that said White Lives Matter. And Sharon Osbourne stands with him on that decision. Now, here's my take on it. I'm going to grab a sip of this drink. I don't think Kanye West was intentionally trying to be racist or edgy. He could have been just saying he's a black dude who supports white people and he's tired of segregation. However, if that was your way of showing that you support white people, it came off as super cringe. Considering that there's a lot of white people who support Black Lives Matter, which we'll get into here in a second. I myself support Black Lives Matter because I cannot begin to imagine what it's like for people to grow up terrified of getting shot at just because they're black. I can't begin to imagine what that's like. Several goddamn years after Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Had a Dream speech, and black people are still being murdered by corrupt white assholes. And it's sad. I cannot begin to imagine what that's like to have your race harassed for the last 600 plus years simply just because you're black. Now, Sharon Osbourne feels cheeked because she donated $900 million to Black Lives Matter, and we still have racial issues in our society. Unfortunately, you'd think $900 million would fix everything, but it doesn't. Racism is at an all-time high, and the internet's made it worse. And unfortunately, there are some individuals who are part of Black Lives Matter who have done some really fucked up shit. Like, they call it a peaceful protest, but they're sitting there shining laser pointers in people's eyes and throwing Molotov cocktails. Then you got some assholes who are just doing it for the fame and the money. They've completely lost the message. And it makes the organization look bad. But if you try talking about it, how there are not all of them are like that, but there are some individuals who might be ruining it for that organization. You get labeled as some kind of racist or, and it's like, I tend to think if you originally were donating money to that organization in the first place, that you're not racist, but asking for that money back isn't gonna help the case. Unfortunately, that's just, the issue is much bigger than just Sharon Osbourne giving BLM $900 million, and that's just supposed to magically fix all the race issues. It would be nice if that's how it worked, YouTube, but it's not. We live in a society where even if you're not a racist, you try to defend your opinion and you get labeled as some kind of racist, sexist, homophobic, misogynistic, whatever. Now, there are two sides to this story. My take on it is I don't think Kanye West was trying to be racist. I think he was just trying to say that he's a black dude who's cool with white people, but he went about it in a very cringy sort of way. Strong 68 absinthe mixed with Mountain Dew. We're going to call that an absinthe cobra. That'll work. It's not half bad. Not half bad, this drink combo. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Sharon hasn't struggled in her personal life. Sharon Osbourne has had her struggles in life just like anybody else. That doesn't make you any more or any less of a person because we all struggle in life, YouTube. Some people just struggle with different issues. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? And if you're being told by individuals, if you donate money to our cause, this will help end racism and segregation. And then you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I'm not a racist, so yes, I'd be happy to donate to your cause. And it doesn't fix the issues, unfortunately. That's the bitch of it. Of course, some people are accusing Kanye West of being an edgelord, but I digress. Like I said, if Eminem were to be caught dead wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, Eminem would be canceled so quickly and he would be labeled some kind of racist, white supremacist piece of shit, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm releasing a new t-shirt called Some Lives Matter. It's on my customized girl. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're black or if you're white or if you're a first responder or if you're Asian. You know, as long as you're a decent person, who cares? And fuck sickos. Fuck murderers. Fuck racists. Fuck sexism. And power to the people. Okay, not everyone's lives matter. There are some real pieces of shit out there, YouTube, that just ruin it for everyone. You know? How the fuck you gonna call it a peaceful protest when the scene of this town having a riot in it? You've seen it on the news. You know, Ozzy Osbourne's "Straight to Hell" music video. It looks just like that. Cars are tipped over, shit's on fire, people are throwing cocktails at each other, pointing laser pointers at each other's faces. And I'm like, that's a really fucking great way to show a peaceful protest, by the way. Yeah. I know, we're sick and tired of the way black people are treated, so we're gonna fight racism and hatred with more racism and hatred. It really doesn't solve anything. It's just like when fourth wave feminism is sitting there using sexism and man hate to gain equality, and all it does is make things worse. Honestly, I don't want to believe that Sharon's racist. I really don't, because she went on Fox News crying her eyes out about it, talking about how like she was just on the floor crying and her son Jack had to come in and help her off the floor and, you know, pat her hand and it's gonna be okay, Sharon. You know, imagine that feeling, Sharon. That feeling of just, oh, dude, you being attacked just for being white or for having an opinion. It sucks. Well, this is the kind of crap that black people have had to face for the last 600 plus years. And that's only the tip of the iceberg for these poor individuals. On that same note, not all white people are racist. So, like, when Sharon sees Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter t shirt, you know, people are going to assume, is he being an edgelord or is he just saying, hey, I see white people wearing Black Lives Matter t shirts and this is just my way of saying thanks? Or is he doing it to be edgy? You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to tell, but you have to be careful in today's pop culture that's overly sensitive because people are going to take what you say and twist it around to fit their narrative. You could be one of the nicest people on the fucking planet, but people take advantage of your kindness and then people treat you like shit because they just assume, well, you're rich, you can handle it. You know, that's kind of fucked. And you know, I agree full heartedly. And when I say fuck racism, to be honest, there's just no need for it. Hating somebody simply because their skin tone is different is got to be the stupidest fucking thing on the planet. Right next to sickos and rapists and abusers and pieces of shit, in my opinion. If you're interested in the Some Lives Matter t-shirt that I have on my customized girl, I'll put it in the comment section below. The front says Some Lives Matter, and it features a zombie-looking thing on the front. And on the back it has rainbow-colored roses, and it says we all die eventually. Pretty straight to the point. And some lives do matter. There are people out there who try to make a difference in our shitty, fucked up society, but they get overshadowed by the fucking assholes who just ruin it for people, you know? This is just like with guns and the social media. You know, all these mass shooters do is ruin it for gun owners because there are millions of people who have a semi-automatic shotgun for bird hunting, you know. But here's the thing of it, that gun ban that Joe Biden's proposing next year isn't going to affect anything. All it's going to do is prevent future stores from selling banned guns. If those guns have already been sold prior to the bill, they're grandfathered in, which means you'll be able to buy them from a private seller who may choose to say, you know what, screw the background checks. So there's something to think about. Having it being sold at a store that does background checks, or having it sold by a private seller who may choose not to do background checks. That's just something to think about. I'm not trying to sway anyone's persuasion on the whole gun ban. You know, I can understand wanting to ban AR-15s and assault rifles, but this is going into like other types of guns, like semi-automatic shotguns, which have been historically used for bird hunting and etc. It's all propaganda to sell guns, dude. If people are watching CNN or Fox News, and here comes another story about another mass shooting and another pissed off white dude with an AR-15, people get scared. It makes them want to buy a gun to protect themselves. And then, of course, on top of that, when you hear about bumbling Joe Biden, let's go, Brandon! Okay, fucking stupid. But you know what I'm saying? When they hear about, and on top of that, when they hear about Joe Biden talking about taking away your guns, as the Republicans would say it, which it doesn't really take away anything. Like I said, the gun ban does not do anything other than prevent stores like Sportsman's Warehouse from selling certain types of guns if the ban is passed. And I hate to tell you this, folks, but when people are misbehaving, you get your privileges taken away. That's life, you know. But does the gun ban stop mass shootings? No, it's not going to stop them, unfortunately. What's going to stop the mass shootings is offering people counseling, enacting red flag laws, and taking it very seriously because, you know what I'm saying, the fact that some dickhead in Texas who shot up a bunch and killed a bunch of kids right before summer break was threatening to shoot his grandmother like 3 to 4 times on Facebook. And then the cops in that town in Texas did not respond to the Texas school shooting 40 minutes after it started. See, that kind of crap has to stop too. You got to be quick and responsive to that shit. And I hate to say it, but some dickhead will just 3D print it in his mom's basement with like these realistic 3D printers. And if you have any basic gunsmithing skills, you'll be able to put together a gun pretty easily in the basement of yours with the 3D printing. But we're not here to talk about that. That's for a different video, YouTube. Circling back to what Kanye West was doing with the White Lives Matter t-shirts, he could have been just saying, hey, he's cool with white people and he's sick and tired of all this black versus white bullshit. And if that was his intent, you know, cool. But, like, he went about it in a super cringe way, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a white person, I was kind of offended by the White Lives Matter t-shirt. Almost like he was making fun of BLM. And there could be some individuals who are part of Black Lives Matter who are corrupted by fame and money and social media exposure. And it's just sad because then they lose sight of the movement. And tackling racism and sexism in our society is so much bigger than just saying, well, here's $900 million. Now fix it. And I don't know what people are going to say about this video. They're going to get offended. Like, I can't believe Cobra said that. But Oh, the only reason he's saying this is just because he's a fan of Ozzy Osbourne. And it's like, no, that's not it. Okay? My love for Ozzy Osbourne, that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to stop me from speaking out against racism. And white people have no room to complain, especially it seems how, like, all the racist assholes that are doing this shit are usually, the stereotype is usually white people picking on everyone else. And when it happens like that for so long, all of a sudden when people find out about racism and other races, when other races are being super racist, it's never really talked about in our society. It's just brushed under the rug. Like, no, don't talk about that. White people are the only ones that are racist, and men are the only ones that are sexist. No, we can't have, if you disagree with us, you're a bigot and you're not woke enough. And it's just like, ugh. People are allowed to have an opinion as long as you ain't a sicko. Who gives a shit? I think from Sharon Osbourne's perspective, she got a lot of crap for agreeing with Piers Morgan because he's a fellow white British citizen. So Sharon thinks, well, if I agree with Kanye West, who is black, then people can't call me a racist. And I'm like, okay, people's opinions should have nothing to do with the color of the person's skin. You agree with them or you don't agree with them. You know, we got to stop making everything about race. That, and I genuinely believe that from a lot of people's perspective, it's like, well, where's my representation? That's just part of the whole Me Too society we live in. And to be fair, black people have had it a lot harder than white people. So it's like, even if you're saying, hey, not all white people are racist, where's our representation? It makes you look super insensitive about cultural issues. And I'm like, I want to approach this as delicately as I possibly can, mind you. Because I honestly don't think Sharon's a racist. I think people are going to misread her agreeing with Kanye West. I think people might misinterpret Kanye West's motives. You know, maybe he was just saying as a black man he's cool with white people, and this is his way of showing it. Um, and if that is how it is, then cool. But like I said, it came off as super cringe, you know. From the perspective of a lot of white people who stand with Black Lives Matter and want to make a difference in the community for people, you know, it shouldn't have anything to do with like skin tone so much as it does equality. Which, fuck racism and sexism and fuck sickos. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Just because two lesbian women want to get married and adopt kids and give them a safe and loving environment that's nurturing and caregiving doesn't mean it's okay for you to, it does not mean it's okay for you to fuck your dog, you know? There's lines. And people abuse the systems in play in this modern woke society that we live in. You know, so in Scotland, you can identify as transgender if you're getting arrested. Long story short, some dickhead in Scotland raped a bunch of women and then, not wanting to go to a men's prison and get raped himself for his own sadistic, fucked off crimes, this fucking asshole identified as a transgender woman at the very last minute of him getting arrested. So now he has to be taken to a female prison with his dick still intact because he identified as trans. Now, here's the thing of it. That is total abuse of the transgendered system. I'm all for giving trans people rights, but you have to examine the science behind it and realize that being transgendered is a life-altering decision. That if kids want to be transgender, that's just fine. You know, they can cross-dress all they want. Just make sure they wait till they're 18 or older before they have the transgender realignment surgery. Okay? Wait until they've gone through puberty as the gender they're assigned, because there are so many health consequences that could cause children to get cancer, by the way. If you prevent children from hitting puberty as the gender they're assigned at birth, that can cause them to have so many health complications, including cancer. So it's like, you know, would you give your kids cigarettes if they identified as a smoker? Not trying to be a dick about it, but that's the truth. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to compare cigarette smoking to transgender realignment surgery, because that's horrible. But at the same time, people who are addicted to smoking, it's a life-altering experience. You know, and it's a lot easier to quit cigarettes than it is to be like, well, shit, now you don't identify as the gender you wanted, so now you're detransitioning. Your body's never going to be the same again after that. And these are things you have to think about before making these decisions. If you want to be transgender, just don't be a creep about it, you know? And that's just it. This is all propaganda that people do to make the movement look bad. They focus on these creepy assholes who creep on kids and then who also identify as some form of LGBTQ+, and it just ruins it for the gay community, dude. Hashtag gays against groomers. Now, if you want to check out my Some Lives Matter t-shirt before it drops on my Customized Girl Monday, like I said, I'll put the link for it in the comment section of this here video. The rainbow roses on the back represents how we're all colors of the rainbow, as we're all individuals. We're all people just trying to live our life, and then we all die once we get over that rainbow bridge. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. So it's goth in the aspect of the message behind the shirts. Not all lives matter, because there are some real sick fuck pieces of shit out there, and I'm sick of it. But what do you people think, YouTube? Do you think Kanye West was being super edgy with the White Lives Matter t-shirts? And do you think Eminem would be cancel cultured quickly? Do you think Eminem would be cancel cultured if he wore a shirt that said White Lives Matter? Oh, fuck yeah, he would. Eminem would be canceled so quickly. People would be labeling Eminem a Nazi for wearing that t-shirt. That's why a lot of people were kind of offended that Kanye West did it. And no one understands how Kanye West thinks. This man's mind works in mysterious ways. If you heard some of the crap Kanye West said about the enslavement of black people, you'd be like, you know, when one of your white friends is being super racist, and you're like, cracker, could you not do that shit? That's called a cracker moment. You know, Kanye West wearing that White Lives Matter t-shirt, Chris Rock would probably call that an N-word moment. Like, could you not, what the fuck are you smoking, Kanye? Goddamn. It's like, Kanye West, what kind of medical marijuana are you smoking out in California, man? The kind of weed that helps you with your schizophrenic, bipolar BS? Because, holy shit, dog. You might be hitting that weed a little too hard. Just like, I'm black. I'll be able to get away with this. Fuck it. That was probably his attitude. If he wasn't trying to do it to say he's cool with white people, if he was just doing it to be edgy, he's probably thinking to himself, that he's black and he can get away with it. I don't know, YouTube. Now, do you blame Chris Rock, like Will Smith, for slapping Chris Rock? Honestly, no, I don't. He's been dogging on him for years. Personally, I would have been like, hey, Chris Rock, instead of slapping Chris Rock, I would have stood up and said, hey, cracker, where's your wife at to come support you at your, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that Will Smith won Best Actor of the Year award after that Chris Rock incident makes me think the whole thing was staged because it was live. Something to think about. And keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Will Smith barbecue ribs and brisket. This barbecue be slapping. I'm gonna have another drink. Yo, now I want to shout out my fans for sending me these liquor bottles. I like this Strong 68 Absinthe. That's a cool label, dude. Check it out. Beautiful. We'll crack open this one. This is Fireball. That's some good whiskey. Just like Red Hot Jawbreakers. Some Fireball and some Mountain Dew. Because that's how we do. Cheers. Anyways, King Cobra fam, thank you for watching. And you know, Kanye West, you're a fellow Cradle of Filth fan, so I get it. You know, explain some shit to your dog. Like I said, if Eminem were to be caught dead wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, Eminem would be canceled for being a white supremacist. That's just how our society is, dude. But anyways, fuck sexism, fuck racism, and power to the people. Cheers.